Hey, what's up, guys? So we got a doctor here who's also a TikToker who tried to rile up some ICE agents at JFK airport with some noxious insults, but these agents didn't take the bait. Take a look.
So I'm here at JFK Airport, and there's a ton of ICE agents who are allegedly here to help. We know they're not, so I'm just gonna go ask them a question. Let's see what they say. Excuse me. I just want to say thank you guys for being here, um, because I know when I wake up in the morning, I'll never be racist pigs like you. No matter how bad I am, I'll never be like you. So good job. I hope your moms are real proud of you. They were cute, weren't they? I hope they continue to be best, like Melania be best, because they are being the best at being the worst. So to them.
Okay, so this doctor, Jennifer Lincoln, an OBGYN and social media influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok, is facing backlash for her unprofessional conduct towards ICE agents. Now, mind you, these are ICE agents who are out there trying to assist the public. With the partial government shutdown and, airport lineups reaching nearly up to 3 hours long, 4 hours long, they're there trying to assist you, trying to, make sure you get to your destination and not miss your flights. So for her to actually be there at the airport and, approach these two ICE agents and call them racist pigs, that is just uncalled for. Anyways, she's receiving a ton of backlash for all this, and I want you to hear her response because she basically doubled down.
Landed in PDX Airport, and some of you have said that I'm very unprofessional for what I did to the ICE agents at JFK today. And you're right, because I insulted pigs. I called the ICE agent pigs, and actual pigs, the animals deserve better. But on a more serious note, if you think it's unprofessional to walk up to people who work for an agency that are separating families, letting multiple women miscarry in ICE custody, impregnating children in ICE custody, and the horrible things that they're doing, like murdering American citizens, I actually think it's very professional to tell these agents what we think of them. And so if you think it's unprofessional, cool. You know how you would act in 1940s Germany. You've gotten that insight into yourself. Since I posted this, I've lost a few hundred followers on Instagram, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I mean, I literally just released a book last week, so if you want to support me, go ahead and buy my book. There are lots of people on this app who are other doctors and doing these things and releasing books, or they're just worried about their brand and they don't speak out about this stuff. And to them, I say, grow a pair, grow some ovaries, and speak up. It's not about what you sell or how many followers you have. It's about who you stand up for. And quite frankly, I think that is the most professional thing you can do. So
Yeah, please purchase her book and help support her grift. But that being said, one thing I noticed after making all these videos is that, all these crazy left wing nut jobs, they all work in one or two fields. It's either in education or in healthcare. And prior to COVID, for myself, I was very apolitical. I did not care about politics whatsoever. It was only until COVID, with the gender nonsense, the woke ideology, and the vaccine, that's when I really started getting into politics. But what I'm trying to say is, or get at is that, prior to that, I never really thought about doing political background checks on people like doctors or physicians. But after making all these videos and seeing how crazy the left are, uh, if I ever were to meet a new doctor, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to their bio. I'm going to check to see if they have pronouns, if they have a rainbow flag, because those are dead giveaways. Same thing goes for teachers. And, I'm just curious for women, if they had to meet a gynecologist, an OBGYN, would you be okay meeting this one here? Like, considering, how politically unhinged she is, what if she found out that you're a Trump supporter or if you're MAGA, America First? Would you feel okay with her, examining your body? Same thing goes for the food service industry. That's why I refrain from wearing, Trump paraphernalia, merchandise, or stuff like that at restaurants because I do not trust these leftists, touching my food, preparing my food. Okay, so going back to this Dr. Jennifer Lincoln, so she may be actually fine with losing a few hundred followers on TikTok, but I wonder how fine she'll be if she actually loses her job. Because I'm going to read you the top posted comment here from this New York Post article, and it reads, most professional organizations have standards clauses written in every contract a prospective employee signs when they are hired. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor, the CEO, the IT person, or in custodial services. Everyone will be and should be held accountable for how they represent their employer. Free speech does not guarantee you freedom from consequences. So yeah, basically, this story is still very fresh. It's only been a couple of days, so maybe the employer, her hospital that she works at, hasn't really responded to the backlash. One company that has actually responded to the backlash is Kaiser Permanente, which removed Jennifer Lincoln from their database following, the backlash she received for harassing ICE agents at JFK airport. So this company, Kaiser Permanente, their healthcare provider, and they contracted, I think, either 6 months or a 1 year term for this doctor, Jennifer Lincoln, and they basically severed ties with her after all this backlash. Also, there's been new revelations after people started digging into older videos of Dr. Jennifer Lincoln's TikTok account, and it reveals that she has a habit of smuggling abortion pills into states where they are effectively illegal. Take a look.
If you want to make the Magic Kingdom really magical, just bring some misoprostol or some mifepristone and you can have Miffy and Mickey. Even in Florida, you can get abortion pills mailed to you in all 50 states.
These are abortion pills. Why is it that here in Portland, Oregon, I can help a friend get these, or as a physician, I could prescribe them? But somehow magically here in Dallas, Texas, if I gave this out to a patient or I helped somebody, that would be a felony that could be punished by up to life in prison or $100,000 fine. So America, you tell me, does this
Honestly, I don't think the Kaiser contract termination was enough. I think Jennifer Lincoln needs a full mental evaluation, and her ability to hold a medical license needs to be questioned. I think it's evident that she can no longer practice safely. That said, if you want to call the Oregon Medical Board, here's their contact information. And if you still don't believe me how crazy this woman is, let me tell you that this woman actually went undercover, posing as a pregnant woman, and visited Christian pro life counseling centers in an attempt to get them shut down. Take a look.
Yeah. This is an anti-abortion activist lying to me at a crisis pregnancy center, one of thousands of fake medical clinics spreading across the country. Crisis pregnancy centers relay false and dangerous information to shame people out of getting abortions.
It's just automatic that you're kind of haunted.
If you're quick enough, you can get a pill that will take away what it's doing to the baby,
So I went undercover with a pregnant friend's urine and a hidden camera to learn what goes on inside. I went to 5, and they all look the same. There's a front desk, a receptionist, forms to fill out. You feel like you're at a doctor's office. The person in front of you clearly states,
We're not medical here.
Yeah, we're more very mild diagnostic, not any kind of care.
but they have you take a pregnancy test
So I checked it out, and you would be almost 8 weeks pregnant tomorrow.
and relay a lot of medical information. The problem is that it's false, which you'll see fact-checked on screen in real time.
We have been leaning towards abortion.
Well, some of the ladies that have abortions, they get scar tissue in their fallopian tissues, and then they can no longer ovulate. I mean, they ovulate, but they can no longer get pregnant in a natural way. So sometimes that's a problem. Infertility is a huge problem after abortions. There's also some bleeding problems. There's problems with the abortion pill, with the amount of progesterone or estrogen or whatever it is that they give you.
Got it.
And there is a pill that if you decide to take it and change your mind, if you get to it soon enough, there is a pill to reverse that.
What kinds of emotional problems?
Like depression, inability to sleep, anorexia, sometimes bulimia. It's just all of these bad feelings they have about themselves come out. And so sometimes it comes one way, sometimes it comes another, suicidal. There's been an awful lot of suicides. I would think there's less chance of physical and emotional problems if you do have a child.